and across Northern America. Your Florida holiday.
It costs 80 quid to fill up and does 15 miles to the gallon.
To be just 5 days away from more beautiful, healthy-looking skin.
Your wrinkles may not be that drastic as infesting bed bugs.
The Iraqi people have been liberated from a dictator. Iraq is on an irreversible course toward self-government and peace.
A course to peace, or a country now entrenched in a post-war conflict where both the number of fatalities and scale of atrocities are escalating. In Iraq, US soldiers are being killed almost daily, and oil pipelines are being targeted for attack. And
it's a rich country, as we know, with its oil deposits.
We're trying to protect the oil reserves from the people of Iraq, give that oil back to them to make sure it's properly exported.
In Portugal, fires have flared up again in the mountains of the Algarve. So far this year, more than 500,000 acres of woodland have been lost.
More than 20,000 acres of woodland have been destroyed in the last 2 days.
And as we swelter, a lot of Europeans are wondering if this is the global warming we've all heard so much about.
The wildfires raging across the west of Canada are the product of a heatwave and a drought that's affecting much of the northern hemisphere, from here to Siberia, south in China and India, and east into Europe. Leading forecasters now calculate that as the world heats up, soil and trees will start releasing the carbon that's stored there. Since carbon is the main greenhouse gas, this will accelerate global warming, suggesting the world will warm not by 5 degrees, but by a catastrophic 8 degrees Celsius.
And here in the UK, temperatures for the last week are already around 10 degrees above average.
So it's clear that global warming is reality.
So great conditions for this man. We reveal the full identity of the Pennines mystery naked hiker.
This will be the hottest place in Britain. Definitely time for an ice cream.
Baking on the beaches as the records tumble.
Out enjoying the sunshine.
The heatwave is doing great things for Britain's wine industry.
Good news if you're heading there on holidays.
The good weather is set to return.
Exotic plants that would normally be confined to the greenhouse are now thriving outside.
The sunshine will continue.
Temperatures across the continent have risen far higher than the usual summer levels. 38 degrees in Brussels.
The weather is magnificent.
Very nice.
Oh, I like it.
And the good news is the heatwave is set to continue.
The hottest day in history. 101 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the hottest day ever recorded in Britain.
It's never been hotter in Britain.
The hottest 5 places in Britain.
Too hot to handle high-speed trains.
Enfield in North London.
The hottest day ever.
Then came Wisley in Surrey, when new highs Cambridge and London.
The high temperatures.
Gravesend in Kent.
90 degrees.
The hottest day
in history ever recorded. Never been hotter. The hottest day, 100 degrees.
Too hot to handle.
Warmer.
Hotter.
Too hot.
The hottest.
The hottest.
The hottest.
Never.
Ever
recorded in Britain. In Britain.
In Britain.
It has nothing to do with global warming. There have been heat waves in the past, and the average world temperatures have gone up in the last 100 years, and that is correlated best with particles from the sun.
The hysteria that we tend to see around a lot of this is probably a little overplayed. Not everything is just bad, as I mentioned before. Probably 9,000 Britons alone will not die because of warmer winters.
It's the jingly-jangly sound of summer.
Oil has been struck in the Hampshire countryside, and there's 100 million barrels of it to be pumped.
If charter or economy is your flight of choice,
you could win £500,000.
The Ferrari Testarossa is one of the most admired cars in motoring history.
Go into any hospital in Paris and you see why the initial delight of a heat wave is giving way to anxiety. For the elderly, for young children, for people with respiratory conditions, the heat and what it does to the quality of the air has become insufferable.
And in Italy, millions of air conditioners have overloaded the national grid and caused electricity blackouts.
Record temperatures also drain our power supplies, while the increased demand for air conditioning and refrigeration exacerbates global warming.
And again, they took to the streets, venting their anger over shortages of fuel and power. In temperatures of more than 50 degrees, that means no fridges or air conditioning.
Millions of people are still without power in parts of the United States and Canada after the most catastrophic blackout in North American history.
A torrent of commuters flooding onto the bridges leaving Manhattan Island. 100-degree heat and no air conditioning. Avenues normally jammed with cars, soon filled with people.
Help resist the signs of aging with simple regeneration.
He has a basal cell carcinoma, the most common form of skin cancer.
Treat your skin to sun care luxury.
That's all it took in heatwave Britain to badly burn his back and shoulders, leaving blisters that had to be burst.
Lightning in Belfast last night.
In an uncertain climate, choose Barclays Business Banking. They have more specialists in more industries than any other bank.
Tropical storm Erika swept into Texas this evening. It dumped its load of water and debris before turning into a tornado, reaching speeds of 200 miles an hour, wreaking havoc across the area.
All this the result of a single strike of lightning.
Thunderstorms caused flash floods in towns throughout the northeast. More than a month's rainfall came down in a matter of hours.
You know, with the 10 grand you're saving, you can buy yourself, well, how about a second, very, very decent family car?
This is it, the Humvee H2.
If I put my foot down now, the fuel consumption meter thing here is saying I'm doing 1 mile to the gallon. 1!
Its wheels are wide apart, so they fit in the tracks left by tanks. And there's 16 inches of ground clearance, double what you get on any other off-road car. When the first Gulf War was over, some generals followed in Patton's footsteps and said victory was due in no small part to this incredible car.